If you're like me and trying to run Windows 98 on unsupported hardware, like newer hardware, and you get a lot of constant crashing, but your install went through, this is something you need to check. Windows 98 does not really like more than a gig of RAM, or even a gig of RAM itself. You'll want 512 megabytes for a smooth experience. So, like this Dell Inspiron 6000 here, it's got a gig in it right now, so we're gonna bump it down to 512. Windows 98 runs beautifully on 512. It runs beautifully on 64 megabytes of RAM. So don't worry about performance. You're just going to want to make sure that this works great. So let's do it. So first things first, I'm just going to unplug everything out from the laptop and flip it over onto the back. Then I'm just going to disconnect and remove the battery. And then we just open up the RAM. Door here. Alrighty, so screws have been unscrewed. Now, under this, we have our crucial 1 gig stick. So I'm just gonna remove it. And I believe, yep, there it is, an SK Hynix 512 megabyte DDR2 stick. So I'll just click that in there right there. And we'll just put the 1 gig stick aside. Okay, so now, for Dells, I don't know what other laptops do this, but for Dells, it will, what I call reprime the BIOS when you change the RAM amount. So right now we've got, yeah, it'll just take a second and then proceed to boot. This happens a lot, the scan disk nonsense, but otherwise your laptop should work completely fine on Windows 98 after this. It's just, I think there are some tweaks. Whatever. There are some tweaks that you can do, but if you don't want to deal with that, which honestly nobody does, because let's be real, you don't need a gig of RAM on Windows 98. You can just do this. Thanks for watching.